Afternoon, friends, coming to you from a cold and snowy North Carolina to bring you another bow review over the Bear Redeem. So this is Bear's 2026 flagship bow, and it's going to come in a 30-inch axle-to-axle configuration. It's 6 1/4-inch brace height. It goes from 25 to 30 inches and half-inch draw length changes, and you can get it from 45 to 70 pounds. Comes in 4 colors. You see the green we have here. There's a gray option, there's an Emerge 2.0 camo, and then there is the Mossy Oak Bottomlands. What are some key takeaways that you should take from this bow? Well, the 2 big upgrades to this year's bow are the Eco2 Cam and the quad pocket control tuning feature that they've put on those. So let's take a look, close-up look at those. So here's your all-new Eco2 Cam, and one of the changes I like that they made to this, you can see the indicators are on here are just the draw length changes. It's not a number or it's not some kind of corresponding letter. And then you see in the window, there's a window. And this window right here shows you where you're at. So we're at 27.5. And here is your draw stop. And if you can see that arrow? It's pointing to the 80, or you could have 85. This one's set in the 80% let off position. This is your quad pocket control, and this one's pretty interesting. It seems to be kind of like the Darton, except it's on the bottom side. So you would insert your Allen key here and move it to the left, move it to the right, depending on if you wanted to relieve pressure or put more pressure on. And you'd look in this sight window, which you're going to see in our tuning video, and you can watch the bottom of that limb move up or down and give you an indication to how much pressure or you're putting or relieving from the top and the bottom cams. So that is your quad pocket control limb tuning feature. Other things that I wanted to show you on this bow that I've really liked that Bear does, you have your limb rope adapter here. I like that. I think it's a nice feature that comes standard on a Bear. Another thing is they have a limb shelf pad built in, so you don't have to put your own felt in. It's nice soft rubber, so when your launcher arm is in the down position, your arrow just rests on there. So if you pick it up off your bow holder or your bow hanger, you pick it up and it bounces around a little bit. You don't have to worry about it making any noise. These bows come with pick rail for the sight, and they come with an integrated mount system for your rest. You have an upper and lower stabilizer holes. They have bushings in them, and it comes standard with your vibration suppression system that Bear's been running on their bows for the last few years now. Fit and finish seems to be top quality. It comes with their bear paw grip on it. Lots of nice cutouts in this bow. They bridge it here in the top and in the bottom. Like I said, the quality control on this bow looks to be pretty dang good. Another thing that I forgot to show you guys, this string dampener that they put on here, and most people will never talk about this, but this is a really nice component that they've put on this bow. It does a really good job. At the shop there at Eastern Outfitters, we actually took this off and put it on some other bows and tested it to see how well it worked. And amazingly enough, it worked really well. That one of the suggestions that Ryan made to his rep was they should sell this independently of the bow. With that being said, we're going to do a draw check and a shot analysis. Then we're going to do a tuning exercise. We're going to shoot it through paper, get this thing to tune, see how well the new system works that Bear developed. And then we're going to do a grouping exercise to see how consistent I can get this thing to hold and shoot. So please stay with us as we start this process. All right, now let's do our draw check. That is real nice. So it's a little bit stiff up front. You can feel that draw force it's starting to crawl up that draw force. But it stays nice and linear, just steady all the way back. And then there's just a tiny dump off into a short valley. It hits the back wall pretty hard. And it's holding really nice. This ain't your daddy's Bear bow. It's a little bit of jump, just a hint of vibration, not much at all. It felt really nice on the shot. You would be, if you're not familiar with the Bear brand or you have some kind of preconceived idea of what Bear is, I'd implore you to go try this. Just stack it up against the other 30-inch bows that you're thinking about trying, because it'll surprise you. It shot really nice. It's the draw. I really like the draw. It held really well. You know, I read that it has a 4.89 mass weight on this bow, but it doesn't feel like it feels like the Bowtech Alliance. They're very similar to each other as far as how they feel and balance out. It's a great little bow. I like this. Like I said, nice draw, held really well, and on the shot, it's just, you know, if I had a little 6-8 inch stabilizer on the front of it, there would have been absolutely no jump at all. It had just been sitting there in my hand. But let's move on to the tuning exercise. All right, folks. So what you're looking at, that is our hard right tear that I got. Once we address the knocking point issue, I got a hard right tear. So that is what we could use with the quad pocket control system that Bear has on this. And what I did was I made an adjustment on this right hand side and I backed it out. See if you can see that. So you can see the bottom of the limb is on the fourth line, the bottom line, and this other one is just above, the other side is above the third line. So I backed this out and took pressure off this limb. I did that on the top and the bottom. And then what happened after that was I got this tear. So that's a really good bullet hole. And really that was one adjustment. I went ahead, I made a big adjustment. I'll tell you that. I did make a big adjustment, bringing that limb all the way down because how hard that tear was. But that's what that quad pocket control adjustment did for this Bear bow. So I'm really happy with the QPC limb pocket that Bear has put on these bows. It did it exactly what I wanted it to do. So now we're going to move into the grouping exercise. I think that's all we needed to do. All right, that's your group with the Bear Redeem. Pretty tight little group. Be shooting off the string. No peep. Friends, I hope you enjoyed the review over the Bear Redeem. It's all new for 2026. Key takeaways: the QPC quad pocket control tuning feature on this bow is the new addition, and it absolutely worked as advertised. You saw I had a hard right tear. I made one adjustment to it, took that tear out, and we were getting a bullet hole. I did the grouping exercise. It held a really good group considering I was just shooting off the string. I thought it was a fantastic little bow. It's a nice draw. It comes over the top, nice and easy. And like I said, it was just a constant draw all the way into a short valley, hits a back, solid back wall. It's not your dad's Bear. When you turn it loose, there's not a lot of vibration. There's not a big jump. There's a hint of vibration. I think the Bear paw grip could use a little work. It could be thinned up a little bit, maybe a little stippling put on it. But other than that, I thought this was a fantastic bow. Held a great group. It tuned very easy. And I think it's going to make some people that are open-minded to shooting bears, that haven't been open-minded to them before, it's going to kind of change your outlook on what bear archery is, especially these Legend Series bows. You got to go to the Legend Series dealers to get one of these. Eastern Outfitters is one of those dealers. Ryan would be glad to set you one of these up. Thanks for watching. And as always, God bless. Stay safe. Shoot straight. Happy hunting.